Hi guys, it's Jeff at Slavens Racing. This is just a preview of a bunch of tires I've got to test. I've been in this industry for almost 50 years, and for the majority of my career there was a pretty poor selection of tires available. There were absolutely no gummies. And then the trend came along to use trials tires on trail bikes, and I tried that for a couple of years. You know, the advantage of a trials tire, a gummy trials tire, like the Dunlop 803, is that they have exceptional traction in the rocks, but they're very unstable at speed. You know, once you get into third, fourth gear, they're just wiggly wobbly like you have a flat tire, and then they have very poor braking. So now we've got this new generation of hybrid tires, which is kind of a combination of the trials tire flexible crown, this being the crown, and the gummy compound with a more stable carcass. Right, so what I have here on the left is the VE33S from IRC. And IRC has 3 gummy tires, that one being the least gummy of them. They've got that one, the IX09, which has been out for quite a while, very popular tire. And then we've got this brand new JX8 IRC. They're all part of the Gakota series. All of them are called Gakotas. And this this JX8 kind of takes some of the technology from the IX09 and the VE33 and combines it into a really, what's supposed to be a really nice tire. IRC has a great guy that works for him, that makes videos, and he rides hard enduros, so he's a talented rider. So he's got, you know, what he says has got some value to it. I don't put a lot of value into low-level riders, nothing against low-level riders, because that's what the majority of the riders are, but you know, you got to get up to where you've got the feel, and you can push a tire to extremes to really find out what it can do. And you know, lower level riders like C riders can't do that. So, and they're C riders because they don't have a good enough feel. If they had better feel, well then they'd be moving up into the B and A categories or classes. And nothing against any of those people, because as long as you're riding, you're okay in my book. So, all right, so we've got the 3 we've got V33S. I didn't bring a IX09 here. And then we've got this new JX8 I'm really excited about trying, and I think we're the only people in the country that have these right now. They've been selling like hotcakes already, and we don't even have any information out on them. And then this is the new Shinko, and let's see, it's called, I just want to look at my cheat sheet here to get all these names correct. So Shinko 520 DC. The DC means dual compound, so the rubber down through the center here is softer than the rubber on the sides. Shinko claims that it's 47 in the middle and 65 on the sides, and with my durometer tester, those numbers are pretty close. It's really difficult to get accurate durometer readings. There really is no such thing as accurate durometer readings, because you can check all around the tire and you'll get a little bit different readings everywhere. But anyhow, so it's harder on these side knobs, harder rubber, and a little harder rubber on the side of the carcass, which makes it a little firmer, and then soft in the middle. This is the new Golden Tire GT333 Gummy. So they've had, let's see if that's what they actually call it. It's called the GT333NX. And these are all on our website if you want more information about all the little nitty-gritty details. The GT333 series has been the most popular tire, the Golden Tire rear tire that they've sold in the last couple of years. And so now they've come out with that same tire in a gummy version. This one here, let's see, this is the new Pirelli. It's, get the name right on it, it's Pirelli Scorpion Pro FIM. And FIM means it has a little bit shorter knob, because the FIM rules, that's what they make them run. supposedly to do less damage to the train. Who knows if that's true or not, but anyhow, it's a Gummy version also. This just came out. I just got that tire. Now on the end here we have the Bridgestone E50 Extreme, another Gummy tire. And this one's been out a little while, not real long, but I don't know, 6 months or so. Now, we've already gotten a lot of good reports, a lot of good feedback on that tire. These other tires, we haven't got much feedback yet from the consumers because they just haven't been out very long. And it's going to be a while before I can get all these tested, guys. You know, it's winter here in Colorado, so we do still have some riding areas where I can test, but it's definitely limited. And then the temperatures limit me as well because I only test tires when it's 50 degrees or warmer. If you have really cold temperatures, you're not getting accurate information because the rubber gets harder. So let's see, let's start with some of the details here. The JX8 is called a 110-100. The Shinko is a 120-100. Pirelli and the Bridgestone are both called 140s, 140-80s. And the Golden Tire is a 110-100. Now, I'm going to do a separate video upcoming real soon on tire sizes because it's very confusing for the consumer. It's even a little confusing for me at times, but the manufacturers don't all seem to follow the same guidelines when they're putting sizes on their tires. Because this 110 here, to me, looks about as big as a couple of these 140s. And this 120 is only slightly bigger, which it should be. So, you know, the sizing's a little screwy. You could use any of these tires on a 250 or 300 two-stroke, or a 350, 450, 500 four-stroke. That includes all the 500 series bikes, 510s, 520s, 525s, 530s, you know. If you didn't know it, all the 500 series KTMs are all 510s. A 500 is a 510, 525 is a 510, a 530 is a 510 cc's. So that's a little confusing in itself as well. But anyhow, these tires will work on anything from 250 to a 500. I wouldn't consider any of them too big for those models or too small. So all great tire choices. I'm going to start with this one on the end here. So let's talk about this one first, since I've ridden it a lot. It's got a fairly flimsy carcass, so I usually just stick my foot in here and push down to get an idea of what the carcass is like. And it's a little bit flimsy. It's not super flimsy like the IX09, but it's not as stiff as this new one. So a little bit flimsy on the carcass, a little bit stiffer on the crown, and a little bit harder rubber compound than any of the rest of these tires. It's still considered a Gummy, but it's a little bit firmer compound than the rest of them. So it will probably hold up a little bit better, but not necessarily. So I'm going to move over here to this one. It's just the latest and greatest one we have. And it's definitely got a stiffer carcass to it, considerably better on the carcass, which I like because that gives you more protection for sidewall cuts and stuff like that. I will test all these tires with a tubeless system in them, and I'll run 4 to 6 pounds of air in all of them during the testing. Let's see here. So this one has a stiffer carcass, like I just showed you, but a much more flexible crown. I mean, it's really easy to push this one in on the crown. And it's definitely a gummier compound. So the video guy at IRC, he is really enthused about this tire, and so am I. It might be the next one I test. And it is a 3-ply, whereas the VE33S is a 2-ply. So, you know, got another ply there to protect against cuts and punctures. Some of these don't tell us what ply they are, but I think most of them are 2-plies. So this is the Shinko, and it's called the 520 DC. Like I mentioned before, DC for dual compound. It's got a flexible crown as well, and it's softer through the middle, a little stiffer compound on the outside. I think this has got a lot of potential. Gauge out of the way there. This is the Golden Tire 333 Gummy. It's also got a very flexible crown. I don't think I should. I would test sidewall on this. Let's see what that feels like. I'd say that's more like the VE33S. Let's see what this one feels like. Yeah, this is a pretty flexible carcass as well. But it's very flexible. I mean, it's fairly flexible, but not as much as like the IX09. Definitely a flexible crown. Definitely a gummy compound. All these tires are in the 50 to 55 range on the durometer. And set this over here. So this is the new Pirelli. Pirelli is kind of late to the game, just like some of the other big guys. Dunlop and Bridgestone, they're both late to the, or a little late to the game as well. The game of gummy tires. Let's see what this one feels like. It's not a bad carcass. And it's definitely, you know, gummy, nice tread pattern. I think you can't go wrong with any of these tires. And this is the E50 Bridgestone, also, you know, decent sidewall carcass. All of these have decent sidewalls, but the flexible crown this one's not as flexible on the crown as the other ones, but it's definitely more flexible than the VE33S. And this tire is the Bridgestone E50 Extreme, and like I said before, we got a lot of good feedback on this from customers. So guys, that's about all I have to tell you about them right now. As I test each one, I'll go into more depth on the construction, the performance, all those kind of things. These tires come from a number of different locations around the planet. Japan, China, Brazil. Let's see what else is it from. My sheet here. Yeah, pretty much those countries, Japan, China, and Brazil. But stay tuned, guys, for more videos coming up about these, individual videos on each tire. But, you know, like I said, it's going to take me a while. I see guys do little tests where they go out for one quickie trail ride, come back and start ranting and raving about how great the tire is. Well, to me, that's nothing but a bunch of BS. That's a total waste of time to even watch a video like that. And the person who did that video just wasted everybody's time. You know, I like to ride them in a lot of conditions. Dry, slick. Like to ride them right after a nice rain where everything's nice and tacky. I like to ride them in the rain to see how they perform in the roots and the rocks. And every other condition I can find, you know, really slow go trail and climbing up super gnarly rocks and step ups and stuff like that. Also how they brake on flat surfaces and going downhill. And then also higher speed sections where you're, you know, third and fourth gear pin and hopping through some whoops and see how stable they are at those speeds. So short test rides don't do anything. You got to test a tire for quite a long time. I'll probably put 15 to 20 hours on each one of these tires, and then I'll pump out a video. I might even do a quickie while I'm doing it as well. So sorry this is kind of dragging on, guys. Hope you didn't fall asleep. Get out and ride. I know we've got some extremely weird weather this winter. Freezing in the deep south and snow and everything else, so hopefully the weather will turn around. You guys can get out and shred some tires yourself. You know, we've got quite a few customers that will order. I mean, I can guarantee you after this video that there'll be some guys that will order 3 of these to test, 3 different ones. And I've got some locals that do the same thing. And then I've got my testing crew and my riding buddies, and you know, between all of those sources, I can get a lot of good information. So I'll stop rambling, guys. That's all for now. I get out and tear up the trails, not the trails, tear up some tires, and we'll talk soon. Ciao.